Welcome back once again. This is Rod Powell, and you're listening to or watching the You Should Get a License podcast edition, your number one source for information, education, and inspiration on the most underrated career opportunity in business today. That is a career in the financial services, in the insurance industry. Today, we have a heavy hitter in the building. Very excited about the conversation. A gentleman who is, an incredible just inspiration, very passionate about this business, is incredible just in front of a room, like when he speaks, the things that he's accomplished over the last 10 years in the business. I'm going to let, him kind of share, where he specializes, but I will say that he's an educator, he's a leader. I want to bring up to the You Should Get a License podcast stage, my man, Mr. Keyon Corniffe. Keyon, how you doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing good, Mr. Rod. How you doing, brother? How you doing today?
Awesome, man. Hey, look, really excited to have this conversation. First off, I know you're down in Florida, some storms and such that's happening. So just glad that you were safe, man, you and your family, which we're going to talk about. But just glad that everything is okay down there and you were able to still have the conversation tonight. So thank you.
Absolutely. And I also want to thank you as well for definitely inviting me to the platform, because being a fan of the show, I've been watching, I'm subscribed, and definitely love what you're doing to the industry, because, your platform is really helping a lot of people and it's inspiring people. So anything that I could do to add value to that, I'm happy to be here, man.
I appreciate it. So look, as we jump in, there's a lot of different segments, in this industry, in the financial industry. People have a lot of different focuses. So for people who are listening, I know your name is Mr. Finance. You're known as Mr. Finance, in this industry. Can you just tell me a little bit about, and tell our listeners a little bit about what you do, what you focus on a day-to-day in your business?
So pretty much, being in the financial industry as an educator and a business coach, one of the things there's a few things that I focus on every day. Every day I focus on who can I reach, who can I teach, and who can I mentor, right? These are the three things I try to figure out. So we call that prospecting, contacting, and doing some presentation. I like to call it mentorship, right? So for me in the business, I focus on the main things, which is the prospecting piece, going out, meeting people, talking to people, collaborating, find out what are some people's concerns when it comes to finance. I pay attention to their concerns. I listen to their concerns all the time. I'm more concerned about their concern, right? And then I learn how to contact people, right? Because I want to contact, not just getting on the phone. How about text, WhatsApp, YouTube, whatever. I'm all about contacting people, because contact is just collaborating, talking. But my most important thing is that the conversation is the presentation. I tell people, stop doing presentations and start having conversations. We got to start talking about money. So back in the days, I used to have what's called money talks, right? Because we got to talk about money. Nobody's talking about money, especially in our community.
True that.
Our family don't talk money because nobody wants nobody to know that they're really broke, right? They look rich. We all know the rich uncle or the rich auntie that look rich. They got nice car. But if you was to ever talk to them about their finances, they may have made a lot, but they're spending a lot more than they make.
That's right.
They're broke. They're just as broke as us, but they look rich, right? So we got to have money talk. Finance need to be a conversation. So I stopped doing presentations. I started having conversations. And that's one of the three things that I really focus on every day, to really start having a lot of conversations about money.
Absolutely. So really, in that education, it's really about just sparking the opportunity to just speak about it, right? And you mentioned something that was very important, just especially in our community where it's really not something that we speak to, in public, right? It's kind of something we keep to ourselves. But in order for us to grow, it's like you don't know where you really want to go until you know where you are, and you don't know where you are until you can have some mode of perspective to even compare that to something, because everybody feels like they're doing it the right way.
Right.
But then you might say, oh, well, you get some information that you provide as an educator. And you say, oh, there's another way for me to do this that I wasn't familiar with. I'll always say, when it comes to legacy building, and generational wealth, it has to start with someone. And if it hasn't been in our families prior, then it's going to start with you.
Right.
You know?
And you know, it's so important you said that, because one of the key elements that I tell people that to build wealth, wealth is not just about monetary value. Wealth is information that is understood. That is wealth. Because knowledge is not power until it's understood how to implement it.
Right.
It's implementation of the knowledge that is powerful. So it's the same thing with finance. A lot of us have financial education. We all have it. We have it at our fingertips. We have it in our smartphones. But the problem is that we don't understand what we know. And that's the key thing. So once we could pass down information that is understood, that is the wealth. Because then when you have the money, you put the understanding to work, right? Yeah. And I think that's what we're missing in this whole financial literacy. We're missing the understanding of the information we're receiving.
See, this is, look, we're already starting to peel back some layers here. We're getting ready to go deep. I'm gonna pull it back in a second, but I just want to say, like, this is actually the perfect conversation for this platform.
Yeah.
You know, and it's one of the main reasons, you know, why we say here, you should get a license, because it's about empowering not only yourself, but also being able to empower others as well in an industry that really encompasses every aspect of our lives.
Yeah.
Everything we do has something to do with finance, with insurance, with some type of financial service product across the board, from our daily health, our property, our assets, you know, what we're doing with our cash, where we're putting our money, whether it's in the bank or in our life insurance policies. Yes. You know, that I know you educate on a great deal. It's something that encompasses everybody. So why not get the license?
Right.
So that you can not only have the information for yourself, but you can offer it to others as well. Look, okay, I want to go deep. I want to go back. I want to go back in time before, you know, Keyon Corniffe was a Mr. Finance, before Bishana's legacy. I want to go all the way back. Take me back to, 9, 10 years old. Now you're from Kingston, Jamaica, correct?
From
Kingston, Jamaica.
Yeah.
All right. So take me back to Kingston, young Keyon Corniffe, dreaming about the future, what's coming next. What did you want to be when you grew up? What was your aspiration? What was your goal, your vision when you said, hey, I'm an adult, this is where I'm gonna be?
You know, it's funny. I used to tell this story. I think I was telling, my better half this story about, as a kid, I grew up in Kingston on Walton Park Road. And the coolest job to me, at the time, right? It was something that was fascinating about the guys jump off the truck, pick up the garbage and jump back on the truck, right? Just to show you when you're in a perspective, when you're in the environment, right? To me, garbage collector was like the coolest job to me, because it was like, man, he could jump on the truck, jump off the truck, jump on the truck. As a kid, I thought that was cool, and the way that they were doing all that, because that's what I seen. And then, my mom's always been an entrepreneur. My mother was an entrepreneur. She started selling food out of a little wagon and build up her business, right? So I've always been around like entrepreneurial stuff growing up. So for me, my dream job at the time, because of my environment, was to be a garbage man.
Wow.
And then I moved from Kingston in the ghetto, and my mom got very successful in her business, and we moved to a place called Portmore. And we lived over there. That's like a residential suburbia now, right? And we moved from the ghetto to, from the ghetto to Beverly Hills in a sense, right? And we started living amongst doctors, policemen, and people that was, in a upper scale society. Then that perspective changed. Now I wanted to be a soccer player. I was very good at soccer. I played soccer. And then my entrepreneurial spirit came because of my stepdad. One day I went to this orange walk. His family owns like orange walks. And I went there with him one day, and I saw all the orange on the ground. And I was like, why nobody using up the oranges? And I said, can I pick some orange and bring home? And he said, sure. And he said to the workers, get my son some Kirkus bags, you know, the Kirkus bags to go pack them up. So I load up like 3 bags of oranges. And I brought it back home and I asked him, could you stop and get me some plastic bags? Because I want to bag them up. And he was like, what you doing? I was like, I'm going to sell this in the neighborhood. And my mom was like, no, you're not. Don't be knocking people's door. Da, da, da. My stepdad's like, let him be.
This is your idea.
This is my idea.
Okay, okay.
Because now I want to go sell oranges, right? So I bagged up these things and I started knocking door to door. I packed up my book bag on Sundays and go knock door to door and sell each bag $50 a bag in Jamaica. Those are small money compared back then.
Okay, okay. 50 Jamaican dollars.
Yeah, Jamaican dollars.
Gotcha. Okay, I got you.
50 bag for 5 oranges, right? And I used to say, guys, these are fresh oranges. Instead of going to the store, look, it's right here at your door. Don't you need it for your Sunday dinner, breakfast and dinner? And that's how I sell. That was my pitch, right? And I sold it to the point where I would run out, and now I have clients, right? So my stepdad see that I grew this thing, and he was like, how about I drive you around so you can get more grounds? And little over little, I started this little business of mine. And that was my first entrepreneur business. And I just always believe in entrepreneurship. So even when I moved to America, I remember one time I used to sell lemonade to my homeboys when they used to come to the house. I always wanted to drink up all my juice. I said, listen, man, it's $1 a cup.
So if they come over, they gotta pay for it, right?
$1 a cup. Then we would go cut lawns. You know, I used to live in Jersey, so we used to go shovel snow. When the snow come,
yep.
I don't care if it was a early dismissal, late dismissal, I'm with my shovel. And we out there shoveling. And we go hit the houses up. And what we do is that we put all the money together. And at the end, we split it down evenly. Right? And it's just always this entrepreneur space for me, man. Always entrepreneurship. So as a child, my entrepreneurship was really because of my mom and my stepdad that really pushed and showed me that if you want something, you go after it.
Absolutely. So the oranges, how were you around it? How were you then? How were you at that point?
Man, I was probably like, let me see, I moved out of it. So I was probably like 10, 11.
10. Okay. So 10 years old,
yeah.
You know, you had the bug, you saw it with your mom, you saw it with your stepdad. So it was in the family. You saw the lifestyle change.
Yeah. Right.
Very important, like bringing up that perspective piece too.
Yeah.
Because of what you were exposed to, you saw one thing. He's like, hey, I'm going to do that. But then when you got into another environment, you're exposed to some other things. You say, hey, you know, I'm going to do that.
I wanted that.
Then even when you moved to the States, to Jersey at how old? 13. And at that point, it continued on because it's like, hey, when the fellas come over and they want to drink up all the punch, that's a good idea, actually. You know, I got boys, you know, and
$1 cup.
$1 cup. You actually gave me something, man. You already started dropping some nuggets.